Um, this series of mini talks or web bites is entitled 5 Keys to Amplify Your Healing Process and Shift Overwhelm into Fulfilled Purpose. 5 keys, 5 web bites. Web bites are mini talks where I will be delivering short bursts of information that are vital for you to know if you want to feel motivated, fulfilled, and content in your practice. My web bites are designed to give you clear, practical, useful information, tips and tools in bite-sized talks, because I know that as a busy person, you already have enough on your plate. At the end of this web bite, I will be letting you know how you can work on a deeper level with me to harness the incredible powers of the world of personal energy through my Life Retuning system, but we'll come to that later. I decided to create these web bites because I really want to help you to heal more people as a practitioner, because so many need you so badly on this planet. And if you're worn out and drained or stuck, then you can't serve as well as you could be doing. That is no good for them, and it's no good for you. And I'm going to underline this and highlight it in every web bite because it is the important message here. So this is how I use my tools and maintain my mood, energy, and purpose. So I want to give you some direction on how you can make sure you surf the turbulent waves of our times with tools and the tips, which are the keys in these 5 web bites that I'm sharing with you in this series. And my aim is to help you as a professional to do the best job possible, because your skills are desperately needed right now more than ever. People are confused, distressed, scared, suffering. You see it and hear it everywhere. The world has seemingly gone crazy, some people are saying, because there's so much pressure with everything that's happening. So you are desperately needed. But if you're going under with stress yourself, then you're quite frankly no good to anyone in that state. So in the previous web bite, we've looked at how you can become over-involved with your client's session through your thoughts and feelings. And I identified the first key to amplify your healing process and shift overwhelm into fulfilled purpose. And the first key is the 3-part system helping you avoid practitioner burnout, which is the traffic lights meltdown monitor that I shared with you. And this takes you out of the equation, so you have a clear space to really respond to your client's needs in the very best way. So the first key is taking yourself out of the equation. But there is a second part to the impact regularly seeing clients can have on you. And this is about energy. You're investing in the healing progress of several people who you are seeing professionally. Because you care about people, because you're in that profession, and you naturally want to help them to get well, it is easy to automatically overinvest your energy, leaving you depleted and tired and worn out. At the end of the day, when you have finished working with your clients, do you feel like a waterlogged sponge, heavy, overloaded, and unable to take in any more water? The great thing about sponges is that they can be wrung out, dried, and then they're ready to be used again. But a saturated sponge eventually becomes an object that it's very unpleasant to go anywhere near if it's not wrung out. Are you carrying your clients' emotional states with you into your own life? That is damaging and toxic both for you and those around you. If you don't do something about it, your overinvestment will take its toll. And if you're doing this every day, because you're seeing clients every day, you may end up feeling tired all of the time and unable to enjoy your own life because you're not able to focus the time you want to spend with your family, maybe. You might be skipping meals or even eating convenience food that doesn't give you any energy. So that's not helping. And over the long term, this can become a way of life for you, where you give all of your fuel away to your clients and you have an empty tank that's not getting filled up again. What I know is that when you have an empty tank all of the time, it can start to impact your practice and the joy and satisfaction you feel working with your clients. Maybe you have found yourself even beginning your sessions late and ending them early because you can't give your full attention to your clients anymore because you've been doing this for too long. Maybe you're finding you're dragging yourself to work and drinking loads of coffee just to stay awake. One of the problems I find motivates professionals in the mental health sector to come and actually train with me in the Life Retuning system is something called transference. There are several definitions of transference within the psychological context, and I know immediately some of you are thinking about them and what you have been taught, but I am talking about a phenomenon that can usually be experienced by body workers and healers. And if you're listening and you're a body worker or a healer, you will understand what I'm talking about. Because as a body worker, a therapist, and a healer, you often use your own energy to work with a client. You can create a change in the client, but by intentionally using your own resources. However, even if you don't do energy work, but you're a psychologist, a counselor, a coach, you're using talking therapies with your clients, it does not mean you avoid this type of transference from happening. And you need to recognize that it occurs. The transference I'm referring to is when you are absorbing your client's energy. Your client is most likely to be expressing some powerful, turbulent, upsetting emotions in their session with you, which will carry and give off their own energy. Negative energy transfer can mean that you might be picking up on your client's physical pain or mental or emotional state and then experiencing it yourself. Your client has literally transferred their pain onto you. So, as I said, if you are doing Reiki, for instance, or massage, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can have a client who's got a physical pain and you work with them and you end up with the same pain afterwards. So here's the thing, you get them feeling better, but you end up feeling worse. Well, that's a hard trade-off. It is like seeing someone carrying a heavy load and taking it off them and carrying it yourself. The thing is that it can either happen in an obvious way, like when your client complains of a pain in the neck, and by the end of the session with them, you've also developed the same pain on the same side of your neck as I mentioned before, or it can also happen very subtly, where you just don't feel good for the rest of the day, and nothing you do seems to lift you. You don't know why or what it is about, and so you just put up with it and have a restless or dulled down day. Or maybe you just feel on edge for the rest of the week. And what has happened here is that your client unknowingly transferred their negative emotional state onto you. That energy can cling to you. And if you do not become aware of it and you carry on seeing the same client over the long term, it can even end up affecting you detrimentally. When you carry your client's energy, what you are doing is being the container. When you are the container, you are taking on the energy of your client and the session, and you do all of the energy work, and you are trying to hold it all and be responsible for everything that your client experiences. However, It is not your job to solve the problem. You are there to facilitate your client's healing. And you know, no one can do that healing except your client. And here's another thing. The thing about containers is that if they keep on being filled, they eventually overflow. As practitioners, we are not the fixers. We are the allowers. So I want to talk to you about the 4 energies to cleanse client transference. And this happens, these 4 energies work by changing the situation around you, by literally transforming negative emotions and thought patterns into positive ones. And we're talking about energy here, the energy around you. Emotions like anger, fear, bitterness carry heavy energy. You will be putting down the bag you've been carrying that doesn't belong to you by activating these 4 energies. So these 4 energies are positive emotions, and they are repentance, forgiveness, gratitude, and love. And the great thing about them is that they carry high light energy. Now, what I know is that it is important to clear your own system of someone else's energy. And my tip is to use a so-called mantra. This includes part of the Ho'oponopono prayer of forgiveness. I'm sure you've all heard of the Ho'oponopono. It's been around for a few years now, and in fact, it's been talked about so much that it's kind of dropped by the wayside because people are like, oh yeah, Ho'oponopono. But I want to actually focus today on what Ho'oponopono actually does energetically. And I want to tell you a story, because I was very blessed to have a Polynesian kahuna, a wise woman from Samoa, from the island of Samoa, to explain to me the history firsthand and the meaning of the Ho'oponopono prayer. In ancient times, for centuries, the people on the Polynesian islands fought each other constantly. They were isolated because of the nature of an island. It is not easy to get off it. Tribe and family against tribe and family. And it got so bad that something had to be done. So the wise men and women sat down and came up with a new way for the people to interact with each other, for a new way for the people to be. You see, they understood how energy works, and that intention is the most powerful force, and wherever it is directed, changes happen. They also understood the power of repentance, forgiveness, gratitude, and love, and that these are the way to be released from the bondage of negative emotions like anger, hatred, and bitterness, the type of emotions that lead eventually to violence and unfortunately death. So they created the practice of the Ho'oponopono prayer for their people, which would activate the emotions of repentance, forgiveness, gratitude, and love. And Ho'oponopono actually means to make right. The people started to use it regularly in their communities, and it began to diffuse the buildup of anger, hatred, and bitterness. And a miracle happened. Now, I use a slightly shortened version which contains the 4 intentions, which I will be sharing with you in a moment. The thing is about the Ho'oponopono, when you use it within your daily practice, is that you will be continuing the healing taking place within your client, because we know from science that we are all made of and linked through energy. And when I come to the 4th key, I will be sharing much more of the magic of energy with you. So what is this mantra? I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. You've probably heard this many times. Now, I want to add the next part, which is let this cleanse, release, and purify all negative emotions, blocks, and vibrations, and let whatever I do not need wash away and return to source. Let it be, so it is done. You see, by shifting your focus onto the four energies of I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you, you are literally changing the vibration within your own energy field and at the same time eliminating any low frequency emotions that are clinging to you from your clients. So a bonus tip, which you can also do on a daily basis, is after you have seen your client, what you can do before and after, is something physical to cleanse yourself too. So before a client session, wash your hands to keep your channel clean and flowing. And once you've finished your session with a client, take 5 minutes to clear their energy. There are a few ways to do this, apart from the Ho'oponopono prayer. You can wash your hands in flowing water, which again can remove negative energy because water carries emotion. And so this is very powerful. It has been known for a long time also that burning white sage is also good for clearing negative energy in a room or around you. So you can smudge yourself with some white sage. So my second key is to be the channel, not the container. When you can be the channel, you stop running your own energy in a session and start to keep your client's stuff contained within it. You can switch to maintaining your own energy levels instead of their stuff bleeding into your life. So when you are a channel and not a container, you allow your client's energy to come through and do the work. You allow whatever needs to come through, and it is not your energy that you are using anymore. Be the channel for untapped source. Be like the bamboo, empty like a bamboo reed, which life flows through with no blocks. I have a little mantra you can use also, which is a great reminder to get out of being the container. It won't flow if it has nowhere to go. I'll repeat that. It won't flow if it has nowhere to go. So I hope that you found today's key to be useful. It's very powerful if you put it into play within your practice. It's very important to clear down clinging energy, because otherwise, as I've mentioned, you will end up overflowing. And when you're in that state, that's when you feel like a waterlogged sponge. The next key to this is about the number one shift you need to make to create significant progress for your clients. And this is about focusing on how to help your clients step into their power and leave their props to their life behind. And it all happens and depends on you seeing yourself in a very different light. So I hope you join me on Friday for the next Web Bite, the third key to amplify your healing process and shift overwhelm into fulfilled purpose. And I just want to take a minute to share again how you can go further with these tools and accelerate your progress. As I mentioned in my first Web Bite, I will be opening up a set of special sessions based on this Web Bite series starting on the 23rd of October. And the 4 sessions will cover clearing emotional blocks to the changes you want to make in your practice. So this is about identifying and retuning, using the Life Retuning system that I'm the founder of, retuning the emotions that are coming up around you stepping forward in your practice and making those changes, the goals that you want to create. This second session is also a very powerful session. This is about transforming self-limiting beliefs into determined action to boost your success. It's not enough to think positively. You have to get rid of the beliefs that are blocking you from moving forward. And this is about breaking through your ceiling of expectation. So that's, again, a very, very powerful session, which I will be sharing with you in the Amplify Your Healing Process program. The third session is an intensive boost of your chakric flow, including unhooking old stagnant energy. It's not enough to open your chakras. You have to get rid of the stagnant energy too, that chakras can hold on to and block you from your energy flowing completely through your system and being healthy. And the fourth session is setting your clear vision for your practice to amplify your healing process. This is when everything comes together and we make sure that there's nothing left to you actually being excited and really revved up to make those changes in your practice that are going to really make the difference to your success rates and bring you in clients that are happy to work with you and happy to pay for your services, because that's really what you're aiming for. So if you want information about that now, you can email me at ildiko@liferetuning.com. But I will be mentioning it in the other web bites too. And at the end of the web bites, I will be giving you the information about how you can book on to have your sessions. Okay, so I want to just come back to mentioning about the next web bite, just to remind you. So it is the third key in my series, 5 Keys to Amplify Your Healing Process and Shift Overwhelm into Fulfilled Purpose. And the third key is the number one shift you need to make in order to create significant progress for your clients. We don't normally hear about, how you need to actually take responsibility for what you're doing, which will boost your clients' ability to progress in their own healing. But this is all about energy as well, and the wonderful magic of how energy works, the laws of energy, which I am very, very aware of and conversant in. This is what Life Retuning is all about. So this is taking place on Friday the 13th of October this week at 7 p.m. GMT and 11 a.m. PDT. So it just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me on this second web bite. I hope that you found it all useful and you'll be able to take what I've given you this evening into your practice and start making significant changes for yourself. And now I'm going to open up the lines for Q&A session. And if you have any questions about what you've heard this evening and you want to discuss those, or you want to know more about the program that I have for you, then now's the time to ask those questions and we'll have a lively discussion, I'm sure.